Hi Tina! My video just messed up, so I'm having to do this again, but this is my professional wear for interpreting. The time is, let's see if you can see, 10:13 a.m. You can see that. And here is my voicing for midterm 2. Hi guys, I just really want to say thank you so much for all your concerns. And I've gotten a lot of emails and responses asking if I'm okay, because you all know I do live in the San Diego area. I really do appreciate it. But I am okay. No worries. I'm sure you all saw the recent picture I posted on my vlog. That's actually a picture of my backyard. And it almost looks like, you know, forest and trees, but it's actually the smoke coming from the fires. Don't worry, I'm out of harm's way. I'm sort of surrounded by it, but I'm fine, so. Before my recent vlog showed just a video of what was happening, and now I want to turn the camera around and give you my own personal experience of what I've been witnessing. So I've been really excited because I've been volunteering at DCS Services doing video editing, and when I got there I said, no, you need to go to the Coliseum, the Qualcomm Stadium. And I said, wow, that is a huge responsibility for me, but okay, I'm sure it's going to be a good experience. Myself and 2 other interpreters decided to drive to the Coliseum together, or stadium together, and when we arrived it was complete madness. Traffic was bumper to bumper. You could see people just completely drained of all their emotions, just trying to get to the stadium. And even when we got into the parking lot, it was still complete madness. You know, usually people understand the flow of traffic, but here it was like a jungle. Cars were almost hitting into each other, people were yelling, screaming. It was just really, really madness. So we finally found a parking spot, and we went into the stadium. It was still terrible. We had to find the booth, but so there were so many people everywhere. Everybody's just disoriented. Everybody's looking for food and water to eat. Really confusing. So we're pushing through. And finally, we find the DCS booth. And we are such a relief for the people that are there already. We're like a breath of fresh air. And you know, they were just so relieved to see us. So I immediately sat down and I started listening to the interpreters' experiences and describing what has been happening for the last 2 days. And I was just floored. I didn't realize how awful it was. You know, I wasn't really sure why we had an interpreting booth. And after hearing the interpreters describe what was going on, I really realized the severity of the situation and became really appreciative of why they were there. So, for example, interpreters are usually, if you will, helpers in this kind of setting. But here, they were there to create equal access for communication for all the deaf people. And, you know, what I mean by this is, okay, for example, if they make announcements on the intercom, and they announce things like, well, you can get your blankets here, you can sleep here, you can eat here, the clinic is here, this is here, etc., etc. And deaf people are walking around aimlessly, not really getting any of this information because they can't hear it. They don't know what's going on. Also, another important thing that they announce is they let you know what areas need to be evacuated and what areas are safe to go home to. And if they say, okay, this area is safe to go if you live in this here, deaf people are walking around with no clue, no idea what is going on, when in actuality they could be home and could be back and not just walking around. So, this is really why it's important to have interpreters there and an interpreting booth, because we can also direct people all towards Gate A, and so that deaf people can come up and get all this information and they see what is going on. Another thing is too, if you have people that, and you're here and you're seeing this information, and you know people that live in areas that need to be evacuated, send them a brief text. Just kind of summarize everything that you hear and let the deaf community know what's going on, so we're all on the same page. I've been seeing some really great things, and I really have to say thank you to the interpreters that have been there so far. Not only are they having to run around to the gate and let everybody know, but they have to go to each individual booth and keep feeding this information, like the clinic or wherever they give out food, and letting all the deaf people that are there know, hey, you need to go to gate A. Go to gate A and you can get all this information. The problem with this is that people that switch shifts, all this information has to start all over and they have to start from scratch. So it's really aggravating. I did see one boy, he had a sign and it said, if you're deaf, you need to go to gate A. And he was just walking around, and I hope he saw a lot of deaf people and they got this information. So while I was there, I know not everybody wants to volunteer, but if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to share some stories. Since I've been here, I've gotten some really interesting stories to share on my vlog. And everything that I've got thus far has been pretty awful. The majority of people have said that it's really awkward being in their homes because they feel like the fire is creeping up on them, and they're not really sure what to do or where to go. It's really confusing. Another concept that a lot of people are confused about is something called reverse 911. If there's an emergency, typically you call 911 and the services come to you, but right now what they're doing is the services are coming around maybe via helicopter, maybe the cops driving around making announcements, but deaf people can't exactly hear this. So what's happening is the services are coming and banging on their doors saying, get out! You have to leave! And it's looking like deaf people are protesting or not leaving and not evacuating and disobeying the law. And it's complete madness because they're trying to exchange notes really quickly and they're just barely getting out before the fire comes. So it's this is popping up everywhere. But what DCS is really trying to work towards, developing some sort of group for emergency services, and that way we can really perfect communication and everybody can have equal access. And so that this intrusion of police forces is not happening. There is other alternative to communicating or getting this equal communication out. One good thing though that I've heard in regards to this is that there haven't been any deaf individuals in the community that have been hurt or killed from the fires, which is really awesome. So DCS has been, one of our goals right now is really trying to work with OCE, or the Offices of Emergency Services. We're trying to really get interpreters involved in this whole communication process, because there is closed captioning, but people in the deaf community, that's not the best form of communication. A lot of people don't know English that well. So what we're trying to do is get an interpreter in there immediately and first before emergencies get out of hand. And get interpreters there early and work together with the services so that everything can work smoothly and everybody has equal access and it's more efficient. Out of everything that I've learned and gained from this experience, the most important thing that I've seen is to really educate everybody, and so that we can improve the emergency and improve how we handle emergency situations. And we've really been working towards this and keep on improving. Okay, and the time is now 10:23, if you can see that. Thanks.